Welcome everyone out to our campfire. This is Big Cat here. This is Camikllama. I'll probably put her stuff in the description. So today I've summoned all of you guys to tell some scary stories, campfire stories. So I've asked each of you guys to prepare a story, and if it's really crummy, then I'll just have to edit it out. Who wants to start? I threw in the gasoline, so.
I'll go first. A couple months ago, my friend's cousin bought a new cell phone. After a long day of work, she came home, placed her cell phone on the counter, and went to watch TV. Her son came to her and asked if he could play on her new phone. She told him not to call anyone or mess with text messages, and he agreed. At around 11:20, he was drowsy, so she decided to tuck her son in and go to bed. She walked to his room and saw that he wasn't there. She then ran over to her room to find him sleeping on her bed with the phone in his hand. Relieved, she picked her phone back up from his hand to inspect it. Browsing through it, she noticed only minor changes such as a new background, banner, etc. But then, she opened up the saved pictures. She began deleting the pictures he had taken until only one picture remained. When she first saw it, she was in disbelief. It was her son, sleeping on her bed, but the picture was taken by someone else, above him, and it showed the left half of an elderly woman's face.
So out of 10, Kevin, how many spooks would you rate that? Out of 10? Probably 6. Personally, I'd rate it around maybe like a 5.5 spooks out of 10. There's this guy. He's just like a regular old dude, bro. And he got off work. He's working at office jobs. You know, his work sucks. Day after day, day in, day out, he does the same office job. Really gets you after a little bit. So he walks out of work and he sees he gets a phone call. Someone's calling him. So he picks up the phone and he sees that it's his mom. So, you know, caller ID says it's his mom. So he swipes the phone and puts it up to his ear. And, oh, how was work? Oh, work was, the same thing, I guess it was all right. Oh, yeah. So, on your way back, you have to swing by the grocery store. We're out of milk, bread, chicken, just pick up the regular stuff. I'd really appreciate it. And he's reluctantly, because he just got off work, he's tired. He just wants to go to bed. But, oh, yeah, Mom, yeah, I'll pick up the groceries. So we went to the grocery store, and he got the milk and the bread and the chicken, and he went through the checkout. So he goes through the checkout, and the clerk kind of looks at him, gives him kind of a half-strange kind of glance, said, "Wow, you must not have any shortage of milk." So he kind of, he didn't really respond because he's kind of an awkward guy. So he kind of just thought, that's weird, like, why would he say that? Like, we're out of milk. Like, why would he say something like that? But, it's weird, so he just kind of pushes it off as a weird remark. So he goes back to his mom's house, and his mom lives a little ways out of the city. So he drives to his mom's house, and he knocks on the front door. He has his groceries, knocks on the front door, knock, 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 and no one opens it. His mom's door's locked. So he starts to get a little worried because one thing, his mom never locks the door, and for another thing, why wouldn't she open the door to him? He knows that he was coming. So he's like, okay, so he's starting to panic a little bit. So he sets the groceries down on the porch and he runs around to the back, to the patio doors. And luckily for him, the patio doors weren't locked, so he opens up the patio door. So he steps directly into the living room, and his heart just drops down to his stomach at the sight of what he sees. And what he sees is his mom sitting on the couch, and she's completely decapitated. Looks brutal, just ripped, like it. He doesn't even know, like it's just like a gruesome scene. So he's obviously shocked. So he does a first instinct, so he calls 911. So then he calls 911 and he's on the line with the operator. Oh, please come here quick. My mom's dead. Like, oh, did you try CPR? I'm not gonna try CPR. Her head's off. What the heck what's wrong with you? So he hangs up the phone and he's freaking out. So he's pacing around the house. So just trying to stay out of the living room. So he goes into the kitchen and he sees that on the counter there's 3 other grocery bags. And he looks through the grocery bags, and in each grocery bag there's bread, there's milk, there's chicken in each of them. But he notices that the chicken and the milk are at different, like in the bags, like they progressively get more fermented and like rotten. So it almost looks like someone left them there, but like kept bringing them, but it just got left there. It was really derpy. He didn't know what to make of it. So the police finally show up, and he's relieved that there's someone here to pick up the body. So of course, the detectives show up because it's a homicide scene. She was obviously murdered. So the detective, like a detective, crime scene detective, and a crime scene psychiatrist, they give him a little interview, and he answers truthfully. I came in. I found my mom like this. I have no idea who would want to do this. She's the sweetest person ever. So, okay, that's all we need to know. That's all we need to hear. So then lets him go. So he's sitting out on the porch next to his bag of groceries, and he can hear what they're talking about inside. So inside he hears the detective and the crime scene psychiatrist talking, and what they're talking about, it doesn't make sense to him, because he hears them in kind of whispered tones, like it's not uncommon that someone that's suffering from schizophrenia will live through circles, like their mind will be stuck in a loop. So he thinks about that, and like, they couldn't be referring to me. I'm perfectly mentally healthy. So he just sits there. That's weird. And then his phone starts to ring. So he picks up his phone, and it's from his mom. Slides it, opens it. Hey, honey, could you go to the grocery store, pick up some milk, chicken, and bread? Yeah, Mom. Should be right on my way. Yeah.
Wow, that's creepy.
So, out of 10 spooks, what would you rate that?
I rate that one definitely like 8.5.
8.5 spooks. Okay. Kevin, what about you? A 10 spooks, man. Ding, ding, ding. 10 spooks out of 10. I'll give it like a 7 spooks out of 10. 7 spooks out of 10. So look who magically appeared. It's a special guest. Go ahead. Wow. All right. So this is the second last story of the night, fellows. So after I moved into this new area, I was looking for a job. So it's sort of like a really small town, like Lincoln, you miss it kind of town. So I went into the paper and I was flipping through the paper looking for job applications. And the only real job that was hiring was this gas station. Now, I had some experience with gas stations before, so I would get hired fairly easily. So I decided to put in an application, why not? So one day, I walked into the door and I saw an old lady sitting at the counter. Really, like, must have been in her 80s kind of old lady, like she was getting up there. No really place for her to be working, but she was sitting at the counter, and I came up to the counter and old-fashioned way, handed her an application, gave my business pitch, I'd heard that, you know, in the paper that you're hiring. I wonder if, you know, you would consider hiring me. And she lit up like a light bulb, like right away. Yes, you know, I would be very interested. Actually, for that matter, could you start working tonight? Oh, this was like no other job interview I've ever been in. Like, fast track it that quickly, working the night of application. But I wasn't in any way to complain because I am poor and it's a job, so why not? So she said, you know, come back tonight. I'll give you the rundown and show you where everything is, and you know, things will be great. So night shift, because you know we're mainly like, you know, night shift kind of place, you know, like a trucker stop sort of, where it's just like get the most of our business at night. So you know, that sounds great. I'll come back tonight. So later that night around 8, I show up back at this gas station. Same old lady still sitting at the counter. Doesn't look like she even really moved. And you know, great. I'll give you the quick rundown. Pretty basic. You said that you worked other gas station. It's not anything really super unique. The only thing that you're gonna have to really pay attention to is that there's a notebook in this drawer here. Kind of opens up the drawer a little bit and shuts it. No, just to show me the notebook, and it's just a spiral notebook, normal thing. You're gonna want to give that a nice read before your shift begins. So I'm gonna head out. I've been, you know, working my bones all day. I'm gonna go back and, you know, have just leave. Yeah, I'm leaving. So, oh, okay, you know, kind of lack of an orientation. She gave me like a little apron, basically, to wear. It said Star Gas on it, which is the name of the place, Star Gas. And, okay, great. So, so my shift began at 9. So, at 8:30, I figured I should flip through this spiral notebook if it was so important. So it said, if you're reading this, I should admit that I may not have been completely honest with you. This place isn't exactly what it seems. Yes, it is a gas station, and yes, we do serve the public, but there's something a little bit more going on behind the scenes. Every night, starting at 10, we get a visitor, a lone stranger, if you will. You can see that up on the counter, there's some cameras looking at the gas pumps. So starting at 10, you might start to notice a shadow in this camera. Now, this is the mysterious stranger. So this stranger, it'll only like a dark silhouette. Like you're not even sure if it's a person. It's just kind of like a shadow. And you'll only ever see him in the corner of your eye, but you will see him in this camera. Now, what happens after this is extremely varied. So some nights, he might be a little bit more active than others. Some nights, he'll just stay at the gas pump, looking into the camera. But more likely than not, he will choose to enter the store. So if the stranger is to ever enter the store, you need to look busy. We have a mop and bucket, and just doesn't matter where you mop and bucket, just don't look up, just keep mopping and mind your own business. You will get a strong urge to look up, but no matter what you do, just keep busy, don't look up, just keep to yourself. Most of the time that this is all that you'll need to do in a shift. But there have been occasion where he's a little bit more hands-on. You'll feel, you know, if you ever feel something touching you, like, you know, kind of grazing your back, or, you know, you feel like a chill breath on your neck, that means that he is behind you. And if he's behind you, things are a little bit more serious. So there's a back room, and if you ever feel these sensations, keep your eyes down still. That's still very important. Keep your eyes down and walk to the back room as quick as you can. Once you get in the back room, there'll be a deadbolt. Lock that. Flip off there's a breaker in the back room. Flip off all the breakers, and put your phone on silent. Don't make a stinking sound, and send me a text explaining the situation. and wait out the night until 6, and then I'll be there to relieve you in the morning. If you do all these things, you'll have no problem. You'll be paid. If he's more active, you'll be paid twice your pay like you'd be paid otherwise. And, you know, hoo-ha, the whole world works. So good luck on your first shift at Star Gas. And sorry about that, you know, whatever. So that, you know, this gotta be a joke. So I just throw it back in the drawer and don't pay much mind. I'm still really unsettled, like this must be a joke, like this old lady's got a really weird sense of humor. But, so my shift starts at 10, it's, you know, 9:45 now, it's almost 10. So, you know, just stick around till my shift starts. So, my shift starts at 10, so it's 10 now. And, I'm starting to see something in the camera. It looks like a shadow, but it might also be just like a gas pump, because, you know, the sun's gone down, you know, a different kind of shadow from, like, the lights. I'm sure it's nothing. So there's someone walking towards the door now, and I can't, it's just a silhouette. I guess it's just the lighting, but this is really making me think about the book, and, you know, I'm not taking any chances. This is really freaking me out, if I'm being honest, so I'm just gonna look busy with my mopping bucket. So I'm mopping the floor really intently, not looking up, making myself look busy, and I've been doing this, and he hasn't left. I could feel his presence, the stranger's presence, and he hasn't left. It's 11 o'clock now. I'm an hour into my shift, and he's still standing here. All right, okay, now I think he's starting to touch me. I just felt something walk past me, but I think I felt something brush up against me. If I'm being honest, maybe it's just in my head, right? It gotta be just in my head. Okay, I'm not taking any. I'm going to the back room. I'm done with this. I'm gonna resign in the morning. I've made up my mind. I'm resigning. This is way too extra. Even if this is some joke, it's not my taste, and this is just taking it way too far. I'm really scared now, guys. So I'm in the room now. I locked the deadbolt. I shut off all the breakers. I'm in complete pitch blackness. So I do what the note asks. I take up my phone, I put it on silent, and the only light I can see, it seems like the only light that's in the whole world right now is my phone screen. So I call up the manager, and hey, in regards of that book that you left, are you serious? Oh yeah, I'm sorry I didn't tell you about that before the shift works, but you see, there needs to be someone, or else something really bad will happen. So yeah, I knew that something like this would happen. Again, I'm sorry for putting you in this situation, but you know what's great? It sounds like you did almost everything right, so that's good. Okay, I'll be in at 6 to pick you up. So he hangs up. I hang up, put my phone back in my pocket, sit there for a second. Oh man, if this is real, man, I got some stories to tell. And then I start to thinking, what did she mean by almost everything right? I hear something in my ear. You were supposed to send a text. Huh. So, how many spooks out of 10?
That was a good
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I'd say 10.
Wow, 10 spooks out of 10. What do you give, Caleb? 10 out of 10. I give that, why not, a 10 out of 10. Alright guys, so last story of the night. This one's gonna be good. So you said that true stories are a bit more scary to you. So I'll give you a true one right now. So, there's a legend. You guys might have heard this one. Everyone's heard this one. It's kind of like a urban legend, you know. So, so says the tale. There is a kind of a ghost, if you will, that lives around Blue Township, where we are right now. Marty. And it's known to take livestock, and as the legend goes, it takes a person every few hundred years. I think I heard something over there. Let's go check that out. It's always a good idea to check stuff out.
I'm scared.
Ah, it's fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. You guys can go ahead of me. That's fine.
We'll stick together.
Yeah, we can,
As long as we stick together, we should be okay.
should be fine, I guess. We got Bo here, so
Yeah, Bo will protect us.
hopefully.
I don't know what that was.
I do wonder. Holy smoke!
Oh,
Did you guys hear that again?
that was definitely from the bar.
I think
Okay.
so. Okay.
What do you think it is?
Oh, probably just that fox that's been running around, I think.
Oh yeah, probably.
But still, I should check it out just in case. Even if it is the fox, we should scare it off or something. Oh, I mean, like, yeah, I guess it's true, but just gotta kind of stay optimistic a little bit. Keep going. So, Kevin, you can go in first.
Yeah, Kevin, you going first.
Go in first. Come on, big guy.
Big Kev.
Nothing to be afraid of in here, I don't think. Oh, man.
I don't see a fox or anything.
Wait, do you guys see something over there?
Should I take out my light?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shine a light at it.
I'm gonna take out my flashlight.
Guys. Oh,